Good morning. This is October 19th, 2020. Um, I am Planethead, and this is Getting Blown Up in Space in EVE Online. Uh, Made a video yesterday where I was hauling some stuff to market through the wormhole, and realized once I got done getting there that I didn't take some of the stuff that I wanted to take. Um, and so my first uh, thing of note is to tell you when you are planning on taking trips, make a notepad. Things you want to buy, things you want to sell. Um, Mine are, I took I don't know, something like 20 million, 15 million ISK worth of planetary interaction, and I left at home the stuff that I had been accumulating for the last 2 months, my clone soldier tags, probably 50 million ISK worth, back at the station. And now that wormhole's gone, so I can't do that again. So that was kind of funny. So right here, clone tags. I also wrote on here things I want to buy going forward. I want to pick up a Venture BPO and a hybrid weapon BPO. And as the weeks go on, I'm going to make a list of this stuff that I need to pick up on my next trip to the grocery store, um, because it was really dumb of me. Oh, and that was dumb of me too. I've been sitting here talking and I didn't have my salvage drone out. But it was really dumb of me not to pick that stuff up. That happens. That's part of kind of half role playing, half living out in the middle of nowhere doing the scavenger lifestyle that I'm doing. Thought about that. I watched the show Alone on the History Network, and maybe one of the most annoying things of being by yourself out in the middle of nowhere is you don't have a paper and pen. I don't know if anybody's ever watched that show, but they give you 10 items that you can take with you, and a lot of people take an axe and tarps and a pot and fishing wire, but just not to have either music or some other media, um, or just have a piece of paper and a pen and to write your thoughts down on. I know you could make some charcoal and stuff, but it's not small, and you don't really have a piece of paper to write down on. So just to write your thoughts down and things like that, um, that would be very tough for me, I think. I digress. So the other thing that happened in the video yesterday was I had thought that the Triglavians, with the new Triglavian update and how they had taken over their own systems, that they had retreated. So I was just flying willy nilly through systems and did not think to check whether or not a system had Triglavians in it. I almost got myself blown up. Got a little bit lucky. Um, so I said one thing I wanted to look up was different ways of maybe trying to figure out where you're going on your routes. So I just blew up a bunch of ships in this area here, and so while my salvage drone is out here doing his salvaging, because I wanted to show you on the in-game map. Normally I show stuff on Dotland. Um, here's Dotland here. It's a little bit easier for me to see. I mean, it's like pulling out an old uh, road map. Everything's nice and flat, but I'm trying to get more and more used to doing the in-game map, because you can set it up or use it to glean information, especially if you're transporting goods. So I'm just going to click on the in-game map and see how it's a little bit tougher to read here. You can see the size, I showed this yesterday, the size of Eve completely, but it's a little bit tougher to read until you get used to it. But the thing I wanted to show you is the way you can configure your map to watch out for certain things or look for important things that are out there. And one of them, the most important I was talking about yesterday, was the Triglavians and what systems to be careful of. And I have configured very simply the map to show me which systems are covered by the Triglavian, which ones have been attacked. And to do so, you just go into your map settings And down here, it has um, all the choices here that you can choose that I've recently chosen to look for. But to find one that is new, I'll just go into NPC activity, and then I'll scroll down a little bit here, and it will say um, Edencom minor victories. So these are all of the Edencom minor victories in all the systems. I'm free to fly through any of these, perfectly fine. And now, let's say I wanted to see where the recent Triglavian victories, minor victories were, because those are the ones that are still sticking around that I can mess with you. So I would just go into the Triglavians to see where there's a lot less. They were able to take over a lot less. But this is where you want to be careful, because these, if you are on the Edencom side or neutral, then you can still be attacked by the Triglavians in the system. And this is the one right here that I almost got killed in yesterday. So anytime I'm going to market now, let's say I want to go to Rennes, I will search for Rennes, set my destination, and by doing so, I'm going from Fegaminko. Wow, I'm horrible with these names. Going all the way through here, and you can see right there, if I'm not mistaken, right there is a chance, but I'm not actually going through a Triglavian. You just have to zoom in on it, because here's the jump point. So you've got Fatakin to Magico. It flies by Atger, but doesn't go into it. And if I tilt the map a little bit here, you'll see that it doesn't actually hit it here. It's a 3D map. You can flatten it out if you want, but I like having it 3D so I can get a better view of where things are going. So I know that going from where I'm at, I'm not going to run into any Triglavians. Now, I knew I wanted to tell you guys about that, but you can go even farther. These are some other things that you can look for when you're in the map system. You can look for average docked pilots for the last 30 minutes. That will tell you how many ships are in system mostly. Jumps in the last hour. This is a good one. This will tell you how many jumps have been done in the last hour. This will tell you if a lot of large fleets are coming through. So if you look over here, Cheetah had 3,369 jumps versus Fitton, who had 265. So that's one of those. Just a lot of information you can glean, especially if you're hauling things. You can see how many ships have been destroyed in the last 24 hours, which is a really big one if there's a lot of ganking going on. So as I'm looking at my route here, I'm not seeing a whole lot. And these little yellow markers here, as you can see here, they don't have, if there's nothing on it, there's been no kills, which is positive. There's a little yellow marker. That means that there's been 4 kills, and if you hover over it, 4 kills in the last 24 hours. That's not horrible. But if a group is sitting on a gate trying to gank you, similar to what the Triglavians were doing, then that will rack up, and we'll just move on over here. And let's see this red one right here, Udama, and that has had 746 ships killed in the last 24 hours. So now the other thing to look at here is Udama has only 22 jumps. So in other words, in my mind, I don't know, I haven't been there. People are just killing each other in that system. Nobody's coming in and out. I have no idea what's going on in Udama. Makes me kind of interested, but kind of scared too at the same time. So that is the in-game browser. The one negative to the in-game browser, I wish they had a separate one, is I like having Dotland because I have my second monitor. I could throw it up on the second monitor and do my searching there while I'm playing the game. The in-game map you have to have up, if I'm not mistaken, on your computer. So I had to wait until I had some salvaging to do, which my guy's still working away. He's gotten about half of them done. Now I can actually play the game. Now there is a way that you can do your window mode and actually spread out. I don't know if you can see parts of this, but this actually spread out my entire screen to both monitors that I have. Um, and then I'm going to go back on over here. Um, and so I'm not sure how that showed up on my, actually I'm going to try it out here. I've got my OBS up. So let's see here. Yeah, I see. So basically, um, you can only see this part of the screen, but on my two monitors, I actually have both because it's, and if I pull up, um, where is it here? There we are. Let's get that one down. So if I pull Eve all the way over here, that's good. Yeah, see, you can only see this much of it, but I've got the whole other screen over here. If I pull up the map, it's got it up there, and should be able to make it into a window. Let's go floating, good. So if I wanted to, you can't really see it here, but now I can actually have it on one side of the map while doing stuff on the other. It's not as pretty or fun. I would take a lot to get used to. I don't think I really want to do that. But it is an option. Maybe I'll mess around with it later on. I haven't done a whole lot with that. So let's go ahead and get this back to normal. Go, Mr. Salvager. Um, so, wanted to show you guys that. It's both of those. The main thing is if you can really get down that in-game map, it's really helpful. Other than that, I am looking at, and if anybody has any suggestions, I have obviously been in Minmatar space for a while now. Let's go back here. I've been in Minmatar space for quite a while, and I really like it, but I do want to start flying a Vexor. And so, and a Vexor is a Galente ship, so I want to start flying somewhere in Galente space. And some spots that I've thought about, I used to live in Placid. Has a lot of low sec space. I want to live in low sec or null sec, one of the two. Placid has a lot of low sec space and a big island here that I haven't messed around with. I know that Stackman is one of your secondary market hubs, so that would be quick to get to. The other one here is Solitude is Galente. It's all out here on its own. This is big. Not a whole lot of people live out here. Thought about living out there. Big thing with that is that it is right next to also Syndicate. Syndicate is nullsec space, but owned by NPCs. And the NPCs will still allow you to access to these stations. So sometime in the near future, I might jump out into one of these, or maybe even Verge Vendor or something like that. But I want to make that move to have two different spots. When I do that, I'm going to set up jump clones from one station to the other so that I can get back and forth quickly because I still want to do my planetary interaction with my one area. And I want to make a video on how to do the jump clones. But so that should happen within the next week or so. Another big change is whenever I put out videos will change a little bit because I am changing from the first time in 20 years. I'm not going to be working the evening overnight shift at my regular job. I am finally switching to day shift. So I might be putting out videos a little bit later in the day. But I'm going to keep doing it. I love it. Having fun playing Eve. If you guys have any suggestions on where I should move to, any suggestions as to what I should fly, I'm going to go from ground up just like I did with the Minmatar, so that I always have those backup ships. I'm going to get some blueprints. If you have any questions for me, just comment to me in the YouTube. I just commented that that I have gray hair and a gray beard. I must be really into it if I'm getting gray from doing it or something, losing my hair. And I replied back, I've had gray hair since I was 30, although I am old. I deserve this gray hair. But it's pretty funny. And so I'm looking forward to, and I'm proud of my head of hair. I don't have a lot of it, but it's more than my dad had. I think he lost his hair by the time he was 40. He had that nice gray ring around here for his entire life. Um, but I had my grandfather's gray hair. So hey, my salvager's done already. You really have no need to know that. So I'm going to go fly around later on tonight. I'm going to make a video about I want to get in some combat. So I'm going to look for that, and that should be a little bit more fun. But I promised that I'd make this video up today. There was something else, another video I wanted to do, and I can't remember what it was. Um, but I'll try to remember. Hey, you guys have a great day. This is a lot shorter than my last video, and I'm happy about that. I'm not going to drag it on. So yeah, just contact me, Planet Head, all one word, in game, or just drop me a comment in the comment section. I try to reply to everyone that I can, except for the spammers. I just delete those. Alrighty, you guys have a great day. Fly safe.